Hey everyone, today I've got your Midsommar movie review. After Hereditary, I thought I wasn't going to see another screwed up movie more until Halloween. Then this movie came out. As far as the story goes, Ari Aster directs another follow-up movie to Hereditary, where this group of people goes on this little trip to Sweden for during this Midsummer festival that turns out to be just another nightmare for them. In the beginning of this movie, I really didn't know, what the heck was going on or even what to expect going forward until something devastating happened, and I was not expecting this to happen, but I literally bawled my eyes out watching because of how I just felt so much for the main character and what she was going through. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything that happens specifically in this movie, but man, I think by the end of this movie, I knew, going into this, it was really going to mess me up, because I watched those trailers and they were already freaky enough, and I saw Hereditary, so I know how I felt basically about that movie, and this movie was literally no exception. It was really crazy. When you have these people who finally reach this quaint little town with these locals acting odd, I immediately got Wicker Man vibes from watching their behavior. And while Hereditary had a seemingly ambiguous ending, this movie was more of a puzzle to solve. Throughout the film, I couldn't quite figure out what the heck was going on until all this weird stuff started jumping out at me, and it really made for quite a terrifying film. Now, as far as the casting goes, you've got Florence Pugh, who gave a pretty good performance. Now, the last movie I saw her in was Fighting with My Family, which was more of this comedic type of role that she was in, and then here, it's like a complete 180. I enjoyed seeing how much range she had to her acting because of, what her character goes through, going on this journey, and it's just crazy what she has to put up with and who she encounters. And of course, this movie doesn't have a lot of, particularly well-known actors. I mean, you've got Jack Reynor, who I guess plays her boyfriend, and even Will Poulter's in this. I mean, I think that was one of the other main reasons why I wanted to see this movie, because I love Will Poulter. I think he's also another great actor, and he's got some range to it, but man, even the other actors and characters in this movie just really, played off this really freaky performance and just chilled me to the bone. Now, the things that I liked about this movie was that not only was it one of the most perfect horror movies I have ever seen, it was disturbing to watch. I mean, the imagery alone in this movie just really made me want to close my eyes or turn away a few times, and some of the concepts were just so outlandish that I was thinking, yeah, for the situations that these people were put in, I can see why certain things were added to the movie to really add to that scare factor, because yes, it was frightening, like I said. I mean, it was weird also because it was just certain things you just don't expect to see happening in a movie like this. And I'm not saying this movie is for everybody, because I'm just saying there are times when you don't want to watch this movie with your parents. Definitely screamed, like I said, quite a few times, more so than when I saw Hereditary, because that movie was freaky, but this one raised the bar tenfold. I felt like it was a refreshing take on a horror movie that doesn't have those, stereotypical horror tropes, plus it's all set during the daytime, which is unlike anything that I have seen in a horror movie, where you can't see stuff half the time when it's in the dark, and maybe you have to adjust your brightness setting, especially when you're watching certain TV shows with their final season. To see some of these freaky things happening left and right, it's sort of makes you forget that anything else is really going on in the movie. So, but unfortunately, the things that I didn't really like about the movie was that it was slow moving at times, and maybe it didn't help that this movie was a bit too long. I think it was, it might have been shorter than It Chapter 2, but I still feel like there were some things that sort of dragged on a bit, more so than I expected. So overall, I would say that this movie was still a pretty well done film, well shot, and just insane all the way through. So I would still recommend seeing this movie whether or not you've seen Hereditary, but I do think this is another hit for Ari Aster and definitely one not to miss. So I would give this 4 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Midsommar, and as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come every week for a Chill Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you guys later.